I know I haven't vlogged in a while and I kind of wanted to talk about why I haven't, besides work and raising a child. We have also been trying to have a baby. So that's been consuming my life the last couple of weeks. As you know, I'm 40, so trying to have a baby at 40 poses a lot of more challenges and risks than if I were trying to have a baby at a younger age. And also having my first child, Jordan, was actually difficult for me. It took me about 3 years to officially have my son, from the time we actually started trying until the time I got pregnant with him. It was a 3-year journey, I would call it. So I think I fall in the category of being one of those women that have been trying to conceive for a while. So just a bit of a background. My husband and I met when I was, or got together when I was around 30. And then we got married at 33. And when I was 35, we were like, okay, you know, we've traveled the world, we've experienced a lot, we're ready to start trying to have a baby. And then a year went by, nothing happened. Our business started booming, and another year went by, nothing happened. So finally, I decided to explore IVF, in vitro fertilization. And it was a scary decision. It was difficult. It's something that I never thought that I would have to experience. You know, my dad had a wife before my mom. So he had 6 children with his previous wife, and then 4 with my mom. So I always thought, oh, you know, I come from a big family, we're really fertile, like I'm gonna, you know, do what I need to do. And then when we're ready, I'm gonna be pregnant, and then we're gonna have kids. Like, no big deal. Well, that's not how the journey went. You know, none of my sisters had issues getting pregnant, so it was kind of a shock. I was in denial for a little while, but once I accepted it, it was almost like a sense of relief. Having tried to do so naturally for 2 years is a huge struggle. In the beginning, you know, it's fun, it's exciting, and then after a while it becomes a cycle of, I would say, disappointment. So you get hopeful, and then you do that 2-week wait, and then you get disappointed, and it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of your self-esteem as a woman, as a wife. And it was hard. It was hard to deal with infertility as well as going on with my daily life, because I had constant reminders. I had friends that were on their second child, and here I'm approaching my late 30s, and I felt like, and I couldn't, and there was no reason why. And that was the hardest part. And it felt like a really lonely place. And, you know, it's something that I know a lot of women struggle with, and it's not always talked about. So, I mean, I feel for all the women that are trying to conceive right now, and also the men too. I mean, Jason was such a supportive husband. I don't think he could fully understand what it's like to go through infertility as a woman. But he felt my pain, and he was there for me. And I think the hardest part for him was not knowing how to help, not knowing how he could make me feel better. So after 2 years of trying our own, we turned towards science, and we found an IVF doctor that we completely trust and felt comfortable with. And so we went through a year of we went through IUIs, 2 IVF transfers. The first one resulted in a chemical miscarriage, and that was so tough, because probably for like 4 weeks I was pregnant. So, but the embryo wasn't strong enough to keep growing. So I miscarried after 4 weeks, and then I found the strength to try again. And our second transfer, our embryo was the embryo that could, and became our Jordan, who is so wonderful now, so strong. And honestly, the moment I got pregnant, it's like everything that I went through I forgot about. As hard as it was, all the shots, all the blood withdrawals, like all the anxiety was gone, and I just wanted a healthy baby, and we have one now, and he's amazing. So earlier this year, January 2020, we decided it would be a good time to start trying to have a second baby. We definitely want to give Jordan a sibling. He loves other kids. He's so much fun. And so we have a few options. We still have a frozen embryo from our last IVF cycle. It is another boy, so he could have a little brother. But I've always wanted to have a little girl, a little mini-me. So we've been trying to get pregnant naturally to see if we could get a girl. Otherwise, I could do another egg retrieval and try to get some girl embryos. It's kind of the last resort that I want to do, honestly. So we've been casually trying since the beginning of this year. And it's now October and I'm not pregnant, nothing's happened. So last month we called our fertility doctor just to talk about our options.
The bottom line is this: if you really want a girl, then we have to not try something other than this embryo. Either get pregnant on your own with IUI, or do IVF again and make a girl. So those are of course, if you get pregnant on your own or with IUI, that's a 50-50 chance, whether girl or not. Plus, you'll have a natural risk of miscarriage, which is probably about 35-40% in your age group. So that's one of the downsides of getting pregnant naturally. But with IVF, that will be cut in half, so miscarriage rate would be even half of that if you do the testing again and you do the regular thing again. And then, obviously, we get lucky enough to get a girl or two. So that's kind of those are kind of your options, Kim. I wish there was an easier way to choose.
The other thing is,
I guess it depends how important it is to have a girl for you guys.
I really want a girl, but I also know that we have one more embryo, and I feel like I don't want to also not use that embryo, I guess.
Right, you want to give it a chance, basically, for life.
If he's anything like Jordan, then he's going to be amazing, so.
Well, my suggestion, so here you have a couple options in that scenario. Number one is you can just go ahead and put it in. If it doesn't work, then we can start and work on a girl if you want to right away. If it does work, then of course it'll be a year and a half later probably, or 2 years later before I see you again. By that time, your eggs may not be as good. And so if you're gonna aim for a girl and you really, really want a girl, then my suggestion is we try for the girl now and leave the embryo frozen, because and then we can always use that one later on too. So I wish I had a crystal ball and could tell you if it would work or not, but I can't.
What if we get all boys again?
It's roughly a 50-50 shot, really, if you think about it, So, there is the option to go ahead and try with inseminations, which are just easier, low-tech timing things. We can do that. But here's the other thing to think about. Let's say that you decide you do really want a girl, you go ahead and do IVF again. Let's say you get 2 good embryos out of that cycle. Let's say you get a girl and a boy, just as an example. Well, now you've got 3 embryos to work with. And don't worry, you're only 40, we can use them up to age 50. So just know that we can do that. But, they're not all guaranteed to work.
So, being 40 now, I feel like so much pressure, so much more pressure than I even did before. They even said even after 35 is risky. So now being 40, I know, and after speaking to the doctor, that the chances of miscarriage are extremely high. So it's been tough. And just like dealing with being a pandemic, trying to keep the business afloat, raising a toddler now. It's been a tough few weeks, you know, and I've had to do a lot of the fertility treatments alone because of COVID. So when I used to have Jason drive me and kind of have that extra support, I don't have it right now. And I've been going to multiple doctor visits, acupuncture visits, doing, you know, all the herbal medicines, the shots, like everything. And it's just like I'm kind of in a weird funk. The only thing that kind of makes me feel better at night is watching Korean dramas, and I feel bloated all the time, and I just don't feel like myself really. And I know that after having Jordan, like it's all worth it, and it's gonna work out in the end. I have faith. It's just the journey sucks. Like, I don't wish this upon anyone. Forget about how costly it is. It's just so taxing emotionally. And the worst part is, even if you dump all this money, all this time, all this pain, like it's still no guarantee that you're gonna be a mother. So it's tough, and I want to just focus on Jordan and doing the best I can to be a mom to him. But part of what I want to do is to give him a family, give him a sibling. Knowing that I had him at 39 means I'm going to be so old when he's like 30, and I want him to have a sibling to live life with. I love having, you know, so many sisters. I like having cousins that he can play with, you know. So these are all the things I think about all day, every day. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. Hi guys, so I'm on day 2 of my cycle. I'm on my period. It's September. I decided to call my fertility doctor yesterday, and he gave me a few options. There's not much I can do this month since I'm already on my period, so I'm just gonna try the old-fashioned way and see if I can get pregnant. I'm gonna just try, I got an ovulation kit. I'm gonna go see my acupuncturist. I'm hoping for some good news this month, that I'll have to resort to some more medication or fertility treatments. So we'll see how that goes. I'm a little nervous about everything. It's been 2+ years since I've tried anything. But maybe I'll get lucky this month. So we'll see.
What are you playing with? I don't want this toy. Girl! Mommy needs that. Alpha. Where is it?
Okay, kiss. You got stuff to do. Wink, wink. Acupuncturist gave these to me, and I don't even know what's in them, but why not?
Fertility juice.
If only it were that easy.
Try it first. I can add some honey if you want.
This is for you, baby. So good. Well, it could be worse. So I just got out of the shower, and probably cried the whole time in it. I had like a really busy day at work. But all I could think about was that I'm on like day 26 of my cycle, which means I'm a few days away from getting my period. And it's so hard because if you're ever going through it, you know that between like days like 15 to 28, you're like so hopeful. You're trying to find like any little sign that you might be pregnant. The other day I took a nap and I just thought, oh my gosh, my body's so tired because it's making a baby. And then after so many months, you realize that it's just a lot of false hope. I mean, I've only had 1 month my whole life where I was expecting my period and I didn't get it, you know? So it's been so many disappointing months after month that I can't help it but dread day 30, you know what I mean? And it's like so I've been like trying to keep myself really busy at work because I don't want to think about it. And like, to be honest, it's like I stay later at work because it's hard to come home and see Jordan. I don't want not have that sadness that I can't give him a sibling yet, you know? I don't think anyone understands till you go through it, the amount of pressure and like sadness that you really feel. And as much as you have going on every day, like it lingers in the back of your mind and in your heart. And it's just this pain that I can't even And I know a lot of people say that we should be grateful that we at least have one child, but I don't think that's fair to say. And being a mother now, like I want to give him everything, and that includes a sibling and a family. And so not being able to do that yet feels like I'm in that cycle all over again.
So my acupuncturist recommended that I take my basal body temperature every morning. It's supposed to be your temperature at resting, so you're supposed to wake up, barely move, and take your temperature. And it's supposed to, I guess your levels change depending on how much like progesterone is like released in your body or something. But basically it will tell you when you're about to ovulate, when you're ovulating, and if it stays high after, then it could mean that you're pregnant. So I guess there's a lot of information in that temperature about my body. So I've been going to the acupuncturist 2 to 3 times a week, and she's been asking for my temperature every time. So I'm just gonna try it. We'll see. Don't like doing these things because I feel like, I don't know, they're not always accurate, and then it could like make you feel one way or another, because like I'm like, oh, it's high today, what does that mean, but I'm gonna listen to the doctor, see how it goes.
Just got back from my acupuncturist. I've been going twice a week for the last 4 weeks. I did it last time, so I don't know if I feel any different. I don't really relax as I should during my appointments. But today I am day 29. I usually have 30 to 32 day cycles. And my acupuncturist told me to start monitoring my basal body temperature this week. So, but today she says she thinks I'm probably not pregnant this month because my temperature has been dropping the last few days. So even though I don't have my period yet, I'm a few days away, I'm not feeling very hopeful anymore. I don't even know why. I'm trying. She just gave me more herbs. It's really hard. Really disappointing. Every time I use the restroom, I'm like praying I don't see my period. When will the struggle be gone? I don't know. I don't know why it's so hard for me to get pregnant. I feel like everyone around me is pregnant right now. So I had a little bit of hope this week because my temperature was around 98 all week, which is, they say, is good if it stays high. But since it dropped the last 2 days, it doesn't look good. And I hate that I had a little bit of hope. Because it just feels worse. Okay, I'm in the car because I'm not quite ready to go in yet. Today is day 3 of my new cycle. Yes, I got my period, so I'm not pregnant. And because of that, I decided that after 10 months of trying, doing it our way, on my own, that I'm now going to seek outside assistance. So I had a call with my fertility doctor last month, and he suggested if I'm not ready to jump back into IVF, that I should explore IUI this cycle. It's less invasive, less medication, less money. So I'm gonna give it a try. Day 3, so I'm gonna go in, we're gonna discuss my options, look at my uterus, figure out what the next steps are to hopefully get pregnant this cycle. But I have a lot of mixed emotions. I'm still sitting here because I'm really nervous. Obviously, I had a successful, I've good memories there because it was successful for me last time. But every time I go, it is really nerve-wracking. I haven't been in 2 years since 2018 when I graduated from the fertility clinic because I got pregnant with Jordan. So I'm a little nervous, and it's different now because I have to go alone because of COVID. Jason went with me to every appointment. He was amazing. And now I have to go alone, and it's kind of scary. And I'm kind of like not ready. I'm really still sad and disappointed in the fact that I couldn't get pregnant naturally. I mean, I know it's gonna be worth it. I see Jordan every day, and he's a reminder of how worth it is. But it still sucks,
and I don't wish fertility struggles on anybody. It's a really kind of lonely, sad place to be in. So that's where I'm at, and then afterwards I have a full day of work and gotta pretend like nothing's going on. And it's hard, but I'm here and I'm gonna be strong, and I'm gonna do this for my family, and I could do this because I've done it, and piece of cake, right? Aw, thank you. All by myself.
Measures 2.1 by 2.1 centimeters. Here's your left over. You can see the little resting follicle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 less than 10 on the left. Okay, everything looks perfect today, Kim, okay? If you want to be more aggressive, we would give you add the shots to the combo IUI to make more eggs. Okay, if you want to be less aggressive and just go for 1 or 2, then you just
And then you'll finish giving yourself the injection. So just make sure it goes down to 0. So you're going to do this at night around the same time every other night. So
Okay, just left. I want to show you guys how much I paid for this IUI cycle. That does not include medication. Does not include also the medication I'm going to need to take. So I did decide to do the more aggressive IUI cycle, where I'll be taking medication, including shots to stimulate my follicles and also to have more eggs. And I really trust my doctor. He was with me every step of the way last cycle, and so he suggested that due to my age that I should be a little bit more aggressive. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to the shots. They're gonna be in my stomach. Jason administered them last time, so I'm not excited about it. But if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right, and I want to give it every chance I got. So I'm gonna be strong, and I'm gonna do it, and yes, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make a baby. So yes. Going in today, check on my follicles. I'm on day 10, so hopefully they look pretty good. Okay, hopefully the last shot ever. Come on, Jordana. dropping off his sample right now. I'm really nervous and excited because in an hour I could potentially be getting pregnant. So he just drops off the sample and then I have to come back in an hour to get officially inseminated. Yeah, and then I have to act as if I'm pregnant. And so I'm wearing my Lucky Success Story shirt. I wore this shirt all throughout all my IVF appointments when I got pregnant with Jordan. And so I'm hoping that this is going to bring me some good luck and another success story. All your hard work's done, babe. Woo!
Hi, so I'm back home from my IUI. I'm gonna try to rest a little bit. I don't feel any different. I'm not really supposed to because a lot still has to happen. The sperm has to fertilize the egg and then make an embryo, and then the embryo has to implant, and it could take up to 12 days, which is why my doctor said not to take a pregnancy test till day 14. So now begins that what they call the 2-week wait, which is so agonizing. I'm gonna try not to overthink every feeling, every little symptom, because it could drive myself crazy. I'm really hopeful, anxious, nervous, but also a little cautious and like getting too excited. But thank you so much for watching this video. It's been only a month, but it feels like quite a process already, and I hope that the next time I vlog, I'll have some really good news for you. Please send me all the baby dust prayers, whatever you can. I'm gonna be crossing my fingers. So thank you again, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.